Starting this campaign is my man Jamal, Haynes, all ACC, 1,000-yard rusher, moves that are sicker than Usher. Still racking up yards on Carolina, nothing finer. Man feasting like he's at the Marietta Diner. I say it now so you can't say you don't know. October 12th, Chapel Hill, 4 and no. And we got Trey Cooley, war ferocious yellow jacket, trucking linebacker, send him packing in a casket. Evan Dickens, anyone fast like a bullet fired out of a gun. New to the flats, Anthony Carey, Hail Mary, defenses need to be wary. I'll give you 6 reasons why he's the next freshman All-American. It's the Fly Boys, baby, running on pure ethanol. Fly Boys, baby, third and short, we running the ball. Fly Boys, baby, running like they on Adderall. Fly Boys, baby, open field, smoke you like a Pall Mall. Starting this campaign is my man Jamal, Haynes, all ACC, 1,000-yard rusher, moves that are sicker than Usher. Still racking up yards on Carolina, nothing finer. Man feasting like he's at the Marietta Diner. I'll say it now so you can't say you don't know. October 12th, Chapel Hill, 4 and 4. And then we got Trey Cooley, one ferocious yellow jacket, trucking linebacker, send him packing in a casket. Evan Dickens, anyone fast like a bullet fired out of a gun. New to the flats, Anthony Carey, Hail Mary, defenses need to be wary. I'll give you 6 reasons why he's the next freshman All-American. It's the Fly Boys, baby, running on pure ethanol. Fly Boys, baby, third and short, we running the ball. Fly Boys, baby, running like they on Adderall. Fly Boys, baby, open field, smoke you like a Pall Mall.
I'm going in for the cup. Come on, let's go hard, burn superiority. Reality is a dish, but not served at all. What if FSU plays small? Bitch, whine, complain, that's our main aim. This wouldn't have happened if we got out of the ACC. Then we wouldn't have got smacked with bread keys. Big D, 98 rushing yards. I call BS on ACC refs. They had more penalties. I'm gonna talk about Miami not taking a knee. It wasn't our fault, there was a Loch Ness monster in Ireland. I saw a tweet, they call him Monster Kirk Street. It cost us a play of birth in a game today. What's the latest on the court case? Make the ACC pay. We were jet lagged anyway, and wasn't it raining that day? DJ, you thrown 1 yard at a time when a quarterback signed for FSU. Less than 300 yards of offense. Well, our OC wasn't there, you see, he didn't cheat. Please get ESPN off of me. Because I'm up FSU, man. Coping as hard as I can. We are the world's biggest crybabies, separated from reality. Coming all we'll see when the Seminoles are out the ACC. In like 2 seconds we swear that the right is an ESPN live. Who's like the tech fan here? Telling you Josh faces. Hi. You dominate us. Aren't you 1-3 since 2015? You dominate us. Last win in ATL 2002. You couldn't beat Georgia Southern because they're located in the state of Georgia. 24-21, you flew to Ireland for that. Hope you Sybil Jackson's fun. You wish you had Haynes instead of DJ Do. We got 3 QBs that would start over that Cindy Lou. Your whole team is a tragedy. It's easier just to get mad at me, slap yourself and wipe off that drool. Come to grips with the truth. Georgia Tech is a better program than you, fool. Because I'm a FSU man. Coping as hard as I can. We are the world's biggest crybabies, separated from reality. Coming all we'll see when the Seminoles are out the ACC. In like 2 seconds we swear that the right is an ESPN live. Because I'm a FSU FSU, man. Coping as hard as I can. We are the world's biggest crybabies, separated from reality. Come and know, we'll see when the Seminoles are out the ACC. In like 2 secs, we swear. Grantor Rights is an ESPN lie. A Georgia Tech fan here, telling you Josh faces. Hi. You dominate us. Aren't you 1-3 since 2015? You dominate us. Last win in 2002. You could beat Georgia Southern because they're located in the state of Georgia. 24-21. You full of Ireland for that. Hope you Simple Jacks had fun. You wish you had Haynes King instead of BJ Duke. To you, we got 3 QBs that would start over that Cindy Lou. Your whole team is a tragedy. It's easier to get mad at me. Slap yourself and wipe off that drool. Come to grips with the truth. Georgia Tech is a better program than you, fool.
Well, that's not the screen we want, is it? Let's go ahead and just take that off here. What is going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great night. I thought we'd come on. I got CDOGG here in the back room. We'll go through the chat real quick, and I need to fix my camera. But yeah, I wasn't gonna go in on them again, but then I tried to extend somewhat an olive branch, and then someone just types that their feelings are important to them and types an entire dissertation in the chat about ESPN, the ACC. So I guess they didn't learn their lesson. Who knows? Wow, what an embarrassment. Anyways, John Burns in here says, remember, winning ain't free, send a check even if it's only $100. We need 40,000 fans sending a check every quarter. That would be $16 million annually. Albert Scott says, let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Nerdstop says, FSU better not be looking past this week. Every ACC team wants a piece of them after the offseason lawsuits. And if you think BC isn't hungry to win, bet again. Go Jackets, beat Panthers. Well, we're going to talk about some tonight. Georgia Tech better not think they can just look past Georgia State, walk in there and beat them because they got GT on their jerseys. That's how you get your ass beat and embarrassed. Let's see. The world's yours. Get your ass to Bobby Dodd Saturday. And I'll tell you this. If Bobby Dodd ain't packed out Saturday, I will get on here and rant and rave and call out my own fan base. Bobby Dodd better. I don't care if it's Georgia State. I don't care. Pack out the Dodd this Saturday. Do your part. We get on here and rant and rave and complain about certain players and coaching decisions and whatnot. Well, there's one thing we can do, and we need to take care of that. Pack the Dodd out. T-Far in here says, we hear boys, what's going on? Stan Garner says, Key better have the Bowling Green final score up where everyone can see it, 51-12 Jackets. Yeah, he better. He better, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Anyways. Caleb Spire says, let's go, Rex. Stetson Bennett's in here. I'll never read that blasphemous, disgusting thing you posted in the chat. But did you get cut from the Rams again? Is that why you got time to be in here? Who do we got? Matt, I wear white. Yeah, I do think it's a whiteout. Nico in the house says, hella stoked for Saturday. Key ain't effing around this time. No, he ain't. In hindsight, glad we lost to Bowling Green. I wouldn't say I'm glad, but I would say, Key talked about it. You can take things from a win and a loss. He talked about Nick Saban saying never waste a loss, meaning learning from it, right? And we definitely have to do that. Kerry Lott says, pack the Dodd. Josh Pittman, Rick. Jace Bevins in here says, go Jackets. B-Bean says, is that WreckTalk? Are you just in here to ask inane questions of me and intentionally irritate me? It's not easy to do. I am an angry person a lot of the time, especially these days. Sean King says, if the defense is legit, this game won't be close. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend, CDOGG, everybody. What's going on, CDOGG? Oh, crap. They can't see you. Give me 1 second. I put my whole setup in a different room. There we go. Now they can see you. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, everybody. What's up?
Well, let's talk about this game, man. I know you just put your kind of cumulative thoughts out there, but how you feeling today, and what do you think of that game?
So yeah, I missed the freaking show last night.
All good.
It was my buddy's birthday and we were hanging out, but
How dare he be
yeah.
born when we're trying to do a show?
Yeah, at least it wasn't on a Saturday. I would have had to tell him. I would have had to tell him to buzz off.
There you go.
But yeah, I just pretty much dropped a 30-minute freaking video on my thoughts on the game, and I guess to sum it up, I thought we were the better team. I pondered a little bit the Vegas and why they're so down on us, because to me, if we play that game 10 times, we win probably 7 of them. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I do think top to bottom, and they might get in their feelings and type something again that's a 3,000 word dissertation about it. Georgia Tech right now is a better football team. We talked about it last night when Lou called in. If we were to play tomorrow, Georgia Tech would be favored.
Listen, there was a lot we didn't know coming into the season. We didn't know if the defense was going to be any good.
Right.
We didn't know how much step back Florida State was going to take. We didn't know how much of a step forward we was going to take. In hindsight, it's all very clear. It's all very clear what happened. Clearly, we had a ton of continuity on our team, and from Brent Key's second full year, plus the interim year, and they had a team put together through the transfer portal. They lost a ton, and you got to remember, like, they're a team that was bad, like not long ago. So the idea, I've heard people say, well, Florida State far and away more talented than Georgia Tech. I don't think that's the case. Even I've even heard people complimenting us, saying, yeah, Florida State was way more talented, but Georgia Tech was better coached, yada, 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 tougher. But I don't think they were far and away more talented. I think we're sneaky more talented than people realize. Combine that with we've had, our coach, they had their entire roster douched last year, and ours, we're returning, 80% of our freaking production, and we take a step forward, a huge step forward on defense, and it's just clear to me what happened. We freaking dominated them, and not to mention our line's nasty, straight up filthy.
Yeah,
they're one of the best in the country.
Did you see that tweet that I reposted that like we were getting like an average of 4 yards of push?
Yes, I did see that.
That's ridiculous.
Unbelievable. We're just good. And they, I mean, they might be okay this year. If they come out with that performance, it seemed like it really honestly seemed like the team had the same attitude as the fans, like, oh, we're just going to roll our helmets out here, nose by 100. Who are we playing again? Never heard of them. We're just going to go out and, mop up game. No, we're going to cover, blah, 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 get our starters.
We're going to dance and film it before the game and stare down their team. And
we'll have our second stringers in after halftime. I think they honestly had that attitude, and it bit them. And it's just, clearly Ukulele, not a very good quarterback.
No.
The pieces around him, not as advertised. And Georgia Tech, just better. We win that game 7 out of 10 times, in my opinion.
Yeah, B Bean was in here, and like he's always saying things he don't really mean, but he's like favored. Yeah, if let's say like a Florida State fan, you only had $100 to your name, and I forced you to bet, and they played this Saturday, would you bet Florida State to win straight up or Georgia Tech? I think most people would say Georgia Tech wins.
Yeah, and we controlled the game. We controlled the trenches.
Control the clock.
They were the ones having to do fourth down conversions and 50+ yard field goals. Like, we didn't do that stuff, and we didn't need to. We were able to score, you know, when we needed to, and we were able to get stops. Like, we were the better team. We're better than Florida State, and you know,
Yeah, and look,
Vegas is strange to me.
they are down on Tech. I can understand somewhat this season because of the schedule, and we didn't know what the defense was going to be like. And I still don't 100% know. And like I've said this before, I'll say it again here. Like, maybe Florida State's a lot better than they played yesterday. That's why I'm going to be watching them play Boston College, see how they are.
They're definitely at a crossroads for sure. How will they respond? I mean, they're not like, it's not like this locker room or team has like camaraderie, you know? It's all new guys that don't know each other, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know why that reminded me. And I got to go look back and see who sent it. Someone sent a $5 super chat last night that I didn't read, and I want to apologize for that. That's messed up. If you're in the chat, hit me up. If there's a way I can refund it, I'll do that. Or I'll just send you $5 to PayPal or something. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things to be excited about for Tech. As far as Florida State, I mean, that's really why I put that video out. And I don't know why I thought I'd get another response from it. You know, they want to act like, oh, Georgia Tech, you're just excited. This is the best thing ever for you. This don't mean nothing to Florida State. You know that leap years are more common than Florida State beating Georgia Tech in football? So I don't know where that's coming from.
So you're you're the comment that you had posted that you were talking about. It inspired me to go respond to him.
Okay.
It inspired me because this guy's bugging. Like, So he pulls he says a lot of stuff here in his book that he wrote in your comment section.
Yeah, he's an example that there isn't a character limit to a YouTube comment. I now know that after he left that. Go ahead.
One of the things I noticed was that he pulled the old the new line that people are overusing nowadays. He didn't say it outright, but he inferred it, is that they were our Super Bowl.
Yeah, I've gotten a ton of that.
That's been way overused lately, and
it doesn't apply here.
It's so funny. I commented, so I said, the classic "we were your Super Bowl" argument. You talk as if we don't own you. We're 7-2 over the last 9 meetings against y'all.
Damn.
And he acts like, you know, we don't even celebrate over beating Georgia Tech. Well, you ought to, because it never freaking happens. Like you said, the leap year's more common.
Yeah, Haley's comment's going to go around the freaking Kuiper Belt before you get to say that you beat us again. Type about it some more. Cry about it some more. Don't know what to tell you. But yeah, he felt strongly about some things, and we had to set him straight.
Yes, and another thing, you said this a minute ago. We were on the phone, and it was so funny. We have 3 quarterbacks better than DJU on our roster.
That's a fact.
That is so funny. Nerdstop's comment reminded. He said Birdie Rhodes starts for FSU right now. That reminded me of what you said. That's funny.
Pick Aaron Philo or Graham Knowles. One of them's better than DJU. Zach Pyron is definitely better than DJU. He did something DJU didn't do in that game and scored a touchdown. That's how I know that.
Yep.
And obviously Haynes King's better than DJU.
Yeah.
And look, when Lou came on last night, he brought this up, which I think is fair. Like, Mike Norvell has 4 or 5 recruiting classes and portal cycles, and DJU's the best he can come up with in 2024. Like,
yeah. Now, I think it's a little extreme to say he's not a good coach or something like that, but I do agree. He did make a good point with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's true.
I'm not saying Florida State's garbage or that Mike Norvell's garbage. And I think the Florida State fan base, you know, they're yelling at Mike Norvell like he called an awful game. I brought it up in the video, but I just think Mike Norvell knew what he had offensively. And their best odds of winning that game were on the ground, and they couldn't do it.
So it seemed to me both teams did that and it seemed very conservative
Yes,
on both sides of the ball to me.
it was. And one team ran for 190 yards and one ran for less than one. Look, and I'm not trolling. Like, one executed that better than the
Yeah,
other.
we bossed up and we ran all over them for sure.
So, what I liked, I mean, obviously the defense, like I still got to pick my jaw up off the floor after seeing that defensive performance. I mean,
Nobody could have saw that coming. I mean, I guess if you look at Key's track record of hiring, he knocks it out of freaking. Is there one bad hire he's made?
well, let's name off the people he's hired. Obviously, Buster
Jeep Wade was number one. Was
Jeep
the first
Wade.
person he hired.
Offensive line is fantastic.
Norville McKenzie.
Running backs look fantastic. First 1,000-yard rusher.
What was the wide receivers coach that we had that went
He's new this year.
UG?
He came from Georgia State, actually. He was their offensive coordinator, which let me just an aside on that. When was the last time you can remember Georgia Tech hiring like someone who's being demoted position-wise? So hiring someone else's OC as a position coach at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that's rare.
I don't remember that, but it's a good hire probably.
What the guy before him though that went to Georgia to be their running backs coach? He didn't.
Josh Crawford.
He didn't. He hired him, right?
He hired him. Obviously, look,
That was a great hire.
I'm not here to say anything good about Georgia, but Georgia hired him because he can recruit.
Yeah. So that was a great hire. And then of course this new defensive staff pretty much is all new this year. So
Jess Simpson, the defensive line, looked fantastic. Tyler, him and Santucci embraced after the game. I wasn't really paying attention to it at the time. Who's our defensive backs coach?
I don't know. They're all new. There's
Either
like
way,
on the D line.
The only person on the staff he hasn't hired now is Chris Winkie. I'm fairly sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Jeff Collins for hiring Chris Winkie. It's the one good thing he did.
Yeah.
And Brent Key, I guess.
I mean, if you just close your eyes and throw darts at a dartboard, you'll get a bullseye eventually.
Well, yeah. I guess Jeff Collins, his strat was to bring in a bunch of Georgia Tech alumnus. Not that Winkie is, but Key, Marco Coleman, and Tashard Choice were all in that, and at least they worked out. Well, Marco Coleman didn't quite work out, but I still hate that. I still hate that, but
with Choice,
Choice left for a better job. I wonder if we'll see him again.
We'd have to hire him as OC, and I don't know what that relationship is like. I mean, we've all left jobs that's true. They screwed us over in, and I'm not apt to go back, to any of them. So you'd have to work on remending it.
Well, on the low, I thought he said he was going to come back one day to someone.
Maybe.
I don't know if that was a secret or not, but I'm being a little vague. But, word on the street was that, he did plan on coming back. So I think the door might be open one day. Not that I, have any problem with Norval McKenzie. He's doing a bang-up job.
Corey Peoples. That's our defensive.
It's just that Tashard Choice is one of the best in the freaking country.
Yep. Another guy that can recruit. One of the few guys that was talking sense.
He recruited Jameer Gibbs, dude. What a beast. Yeah.
Hey, really? Hold on. Let me take care of this real quick.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't care if that was a Georgia Tech fan that did that. They're gone. So, anyways, Norval McKenzie's doing a great job. Like this. I didn't realize that Alexander kid, that was his first carry.
Dude, yeah, and a walk-on too.
Yeah.
I honestly no, he did a great job, but let's give credit where it's due. Is there anybody that couldn't run? Me and you could run through the freaking gaps in that O-line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm maybe not going to go that far, but yeah, any average running back could do it. And I'm not saying our running backs are average, but our offensive line is putting our running backs who are talented in a position to make some really good plays. So shout out to Chad Alexander.
There's definitely moments where, you know, the running backs have time to shine. I could watch that play where Jamal Haynes juked those two guys all day.
He hit the back sit. Dude, that guy.
Oh, my God.
Someone posted in the Discord, like this guy, like kind of posing as a coach. And he's like, man, that guy's sliding like a shower door. He's just like,
oh, Coach 30.
Yeah, dude, Coach
30. Yeah. I watch him. I don't think we've ever been. Oh, he might have done the Miami game, but I was gonna say I don't think he's ever done a Tech game. But he's pretty funny. He said,
man.
He said, I should have got your mama out of the transfer portal. At least she might have put some touch on these balls.
Dang, dude. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. And like, oh, man. I'm just so happy. So, yeah, our defense played out of their minds. Like, Kyle Eford is playing like an All-American in 1 week. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be.
Bro.
I'm just, he's cracked, right?
He's
Isn't that the word?
cracked. He's cracked.
I don't like that cowboy collar went out like 10 years ago, right? Like you just don't see, even linebackers, you don't really see them wear it. He looks like I'm a little scared when I see him on the TV. I'm like, ooh, he might get me. Like
I'd hate to freaking see him screaming down the gap at me.
He knocked the ever-loving piss out of that running back. Like it's not common you see two guys full speed hit. Yeah. And then you see Russell sent it to me. It's like he defied physics. it was like he had rockets attached to him.
And he was everywhere, dude. He was everywhere.
10 tackles.
Every play, he was there.
And look, I think the other stat was 50% of the time we were meeting the running back at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Mari Harvey, too.
Yes.
Romello Height.
Yeah, Romello Height was everywhere. I mean, it was unfortunate. Here's what I will say. I don't think that like it doesn't matter. There is like an incidental face mask flag that's a 5-yard, and then there's the intentional 15-yard. That didn't seem intentional. Unfortunate how that went down, but you love to see it. Like the pressure. I think the other stat was 50% of the time or something, DJU was under pressure. I mean, he didn't have time to get comfortable at all. Shout out to Kevin Harris and Josh Robinson. Like those guys on the ends were creating havoc. Zeke Biggers, Makia Scott, all of them.
We played in their backfield, dude. It didn't freaking happen last year, man. It did not freaking happen.
No, I bet.
And now that the D line is pulling their weight, the rest of the defense can do their jobs properly, you know?
Yeah.
Like Lamiles Brooks had time to shine. Eford was doing great. You know, linebackers were so bad last year, and now it's just night and day, dude.
Well, night and day, and the maturity. So speaking of Lamiles Brooks, watching it on TV, I thought that PI was a good call. Watching it back over again, I mean, the wide receiver was fully extended on his shoulder pad. They were both going at it. Who cares kind of with that? The important thing is it leads to a first down, and we still bow up after it. You don't let it get in your head. It's just, all right, let's make a play here then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the maturity, they definitely matured, for sure. There's a lot of times that game where it could have gone badly, especially on defense. And dude, it's just like, could really be the same guys from last year? I know there's a lot of new faces. How about Taj Butler, a true freshman? There goes our evaluation again, dude.
That kid, he looks enormous.
I'm telling you, dude, elite evaluations.
Yeah, I still stand by this, and this isn't throwing shade at anyone else in that room. I think Butler will start by the end of the year. I think I said that before.
He was in there like the first quarter. I don't particularly know the who was listed as the starter. Was it Tatum?
Tatum, yeah.
Yeah. But he was getting reps, meaningful reps, and he was getting
making
tackles.
plays. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it looks like, I don't know about depth on the defensive line still. Our starters played really, really well. It looks like we do got some depth at linebacker though.
So it seems like towards the end of the game, the D line was getting a little less pressure. It seemed to me like DJ had more time to pass. They never did let him run on them.
No.
But I did notice towards the end of the game, they weren't creating quite as much havoc. I think that might be why.
Well, they did adjust, and they did let DJ throw, and they had good routes called for us blitzing up the middle, because each one of those conversions were like skinny post up the middle or just fly, and he was able to hit them. We were really sold out. But yeah, I mean, moving on to the offensive side of the ball, like, look, 34 yards or something, isn't great, but our game plan was, we don't need Haynes King to be the world's greatest quarterback that's ever been seen. We need to run the football and make plays where we can. Now, I did watch Aaron Murray break down film, and I don't know if you remember, CDOGG. He was a quarterback for Georgia under Rick.
I know. I remember.
Okay. And he had nothing but praise for Haynes King, which was kind of surprising to me for me watching the game. He's like, the accuracy, even on these short passes, it's important that when that wide receiver catches a pass on like a swing or a screen, that he doesn't have to restart his momentum. You can put it in the right spot. And he did it almost every time. Then when he had to make a throw under pressure, under extreme pressure, he does it. That to me is the maturity and getting better.
That was that Jamal Haynes play where he juked those guys out on that very same play. Third down, had two guys bearing down on him, and was in a second of just getting killed, and gets the ball off a perfect freaking pass to Jamal Haynes. Just ice in his veins, dude. Ice in his veins to Jamal Haynes. And then, of course, Jamal Haynes makes a play too. Like,
oh yeah,
on third down, just amazing.
And it's the things that get overlooked. So you watch that play and you think, man, Jamal Haynes. But the nuances are, if that ball's thrown a little behind and he has to turn and then restart his momentum, that's a stop. That's a tackle for loss if that happens.
And he did that with people in his face. In his face.
Yeah, it's easy for some fatsos like us to say, hey, you got to make that throw. It's another thing when you got someone bigger than us even bearing down on you. I mean, it's huge.
The one thing I did say with Haynes King was, tons of passes in the backfield and screens and whatnot, but not a ton of passes downfield.
No, and we miss them. We missed the one.
Yeah. So I was hoping that we would get a little more of that. I mean, not necessarily this game, because I get the game plan, and it seems like we've carried our identity from last year into this year, because it seemed like I keep going back to these first 4 games last year, but it seemed like we threw it around a lot more then, did it not?
No, well, we did objectively,
and then towards the end of the year, leaned way more heavily on the run game. And
well, I think that's a testament to our staff. So Key is a big proponent of, like, you get your game plan together, but you don't just beat your head against a wall when that ain't working in the game. You got to be able to adjust in the game.
That's another thing, and that was one of my biggest praises of him. Okay, when he was interim.
Yeah.
Look at what he had to work with the quarterback room. And he, had Jeff Sims that he wouldn't play, whatever that situation was. Then you got Pyron, and then he goes down. Then you have Gibson and Pumachan, and they game planned around those two, around Gibson not being able to move and Pumachan not being able to throw.
Yeah.
And somehow made it work to where we go on the road and beat North Carolina. And I think that is, it's absolutely invaluable, is to know the strengths of your teams, know what you're good at, know how to win with them, and adjust too. So It looks like we carried that over. I did hope to see maybe next week or in the coming games, even maybe looking downfield a little more, because it is nice to be able to do it. It's nice to be able to not have to do it, but when you need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you have it in your pocket.
It takes away a dimension from your offense if you can't. And we have good receivers. We should be able to, we have a good offensive line. We should have enough protection.
For sure.
Right?
For sure. Let me take a timeout real quick. I want to thank Josh Pittman, gifted 5 memberships. So Nerd Stop gets a membership. Matt I, Jesse the Artist, Taylor Walson, and DW. So man, thank you so much for that. That does wonders for the channel. I appreciate it.
You're the man.
Yeah, Josh Pittman is the man. But yeah, and really what I'm saying is, like, in the game, it's like, okay, they're stopping the run or they're doing this or that. Now you have this pass game you can start opening up, when the time arises, or you just see tendencies in a team,
No doubt.
So I want to talk about the offense and defense this game. Let's look ahead now to Georgia State, because we're now in the same position.
Well,
go ahead.
I also, Georgia State, yes, and I want to talk about our adjusted expectations, if any.
Okay,
right.
We can do that. Let me pull up the schedule, because I know
in whichever order.
We'll go ahead. Well, first let's talk about Georgia State, and then we'll look at the schedule. Yeah. Also, we need to talk about, and we both need to do videos on. We just flipped a 4-star. Christian Garrett signs with Tech today. We need to get T-shirts made like something's different in Atlanta or Atlanta's cooking, because there is. I have never seen this at Georgia Tech. I've been a Georgia Tech fan for 30 plus years, right? I ain't never seen anything like this with recruiting, with buy-in, with coaching, with what we're paying coaches. It's phenomenal.
Dude, it's what I've been saying, and it's how it should have been for a long time. And it's what we've always been capable of.
Yeah.
We've always been able to do this, and it just hasn't come together. And now it has. Look how much fun it is, and look how much success we're having. And it's only year 2 under Brent Key. All we got to do is get a coach that knows halfway what the hell he's doing, and that doesn't run the Stone Age freaking thing. Look, we basically run the triple option out of the shotgun this last weekend. You know what I mean?
Did you see the same breakdown?
What now?
With Murray? Did you see the same breakdown with Murray? Because he mentioned that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he's like, this is how you run the triple option. Like, the RPO is ostensibly the modern version of a triple option play.
Right. So, I mean, you can still run the ball like hell. It's just, and I'm telling you, like, guys want to come here. Recruits want to come here. Don't let them tell you that freaking Georgia Tech can't recruit, man. That's a BS, bro. I've been saying this for years. You can go back and look. When I first started my channel, I was going through Jeff Collins, and I'm like, this isn't right. This isn't how it's supposed to be. And people act like we are freaking Vandy, dude. We are not Vandy. We're not Wake Forest. We're not Syracuse. We're not any of these teams who have to settle. We have everything we need to be at the top of college football. And it's starting to build up, and I'm so freaking excited.
Absolutely. So, what I say, we go through, we talk about Georgia Southern. Well, first, so Christian Garrett. So you get this kid out of Bogart, Georgia. Do you think that week 0 game was important for recruiting?
Oh, hell.
You think that everyone seeing that might not have helped you in recruiting some?
Absolutely. And not to mention Landon, the 5-star who chose us over FSU and maybe got a little vindication, right, from that choice.
Josh Petty says hi.
Who the hell would want to go play for Florida State, man?
Well, they can't beat us. So, yeah, I mean, here's the other thing, because I grew up in that part of the state, right? Bogart, Georgia is 5 minutes from Athens. Prince Avenue, is really an extension of Athens. All the coaches who coach at Georgia, their kids go to Prince Avenue. It's a private school. that you go out there and get a 4-star defensive lineman, which is the number one thing you need recruiting now that you shored up the offensive line, is massive. And we talked about it earlier where it really seemed like a situation where Georgia maybe, I'm not saying they did or didn't, but maybe rested on their laurels. Key snuck in there and got one from them. Like,
yeah.
Key's serious as a heart attack about this football team. All of these guys saying this Florida stuff or he's going somewhere else. I'll take bets tonight that he's still here. That he will not get hired by another program in 5 years.
Dude, they were trying to tell me on freaking the ACC show that was going to happen. I'm like, are you guys out of your mind? He's not freaking leaving.
He's Tech through and through, man.
Dude, it's his dream job.
He's the only person that I would say that about, that I am not worried at all. Now, Winky, Bat,
Winky,
Buster, even
Buster, we're loaning from freaking Georgia, dude. We're renting him from Georgia.
Yeah.
As soon as they want Buster, they're taking him back.
Well, I would be okay with, let's say we do got some money rolling in here. If you want to keep this thing rolling, I think Faulkner's this good, make him the highest paid coordinator in the country. If you got it and you can keep him, what that means for your program continuity and development, you're also
quarterbacks, dude. Quarterbacks, man.
Quarterbacks.
I'm telling you,
you got a stable of them. I've been trying to tell people, and look, unless you're a Tech fan, you wouldn't know. I do think Tech might have the not only deepest quarterback room in the ACC, they've got one of the deepest quarterback rooms in the country, just top to bottom. I think they got 3 Elite 11 guys in their room. 3 of them.
I think that this is going to be a blessing and a curse because we've been so slept on. I think people don't understand how, what we have here. All eyes are on us now, and all eyes are on our freaking coaching staff. You know how many freaking teams need offensive linemen? They're going to be gunning for our guys, gunning for our coaches. It's a good problem to have, and Key has knocked it out of the freaking park. But prepare yourselves for that. It's a different problem,
Yeah.
Normally we get coaches leaving.
Firing
in the
them.
Collins era, we had either fired or they left because they were sick of, they were too good for us and sick of losing, like Choice, So, I mean, I'm prepared for that. I'm prepared to lose Winky and Buster. And I just hope, we got them for this season, so we'll see what we can freaking do. But I have all the faith in the world.
If our
Yep.
defense continues like this, someone will be willing to pay him a ton of money. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me. Let's say we do end up with a top 25, just for argument. I'm not saying we do. Top 25 defense. Texas A&M would come pay him to go reunite with Elko. I'm pretty sure, especially if maybe they struggle on defense this year. So,
I've been saying this. Penn State, if they knew what they were doing, would hire Winky. I should have whispered that.
Here, whisper it in my ear. No one will hear.
Penn State could really use Winky.
Yeah.
Could they not?
I don't think he wants to go to Pennsylvania.
Is that not the freaking potion that they need for freaking success? That's their one thing that they've are missing. And that would freaking, if he went there, dude, that would put him in the playoffs, in the title contention for the conference and everything else that they want to do. But luckily, they don't freaking notice them over here in Georgia. Don't even worry about us, right?
Well, we've got a plan for that. So, if Santucci got hired after this year, that would be harder for Tech than Buster getting hired because we would just promote Winky to OC. I mean,
okay. So I like Key's strategy here. He hires young up and coming guys, and it's freaking worked really well. Which reminds me, we were talking about, has any of his hires not worked out? Yes, Kevin Scherer. And that's the one guy he's hired that's been a retread, and it didn't freaking work. And people wonder why,
Oh, my God. And you know where he is right now?
Where'd he go?
He's the DC at Georgia State.
No kidding.
Yes.
I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure. Let me check, but I am fairly, I'm sure Georgia State hired him. Let's see. So he didn't have to move, luckily enough for him. Let me make sure that's true. Yes, he is the DC at Georgia State. That is where Kevin
wow.
Sherr is
I
right
had no
now.
idea.
I didn't even think about that until we started talking about him.
I had no idea, dude. Wow.
So this game might be, I mean, well, he's not going to know anything about our defense, though, because we had a totally new, Santucci was hired, obviously, after we fired Sherr.
Right.
So he shouldn't have any inside track. I mean, maybe personnel, but the personnel is completely different.
Yeah. So it's funny how the one retread he did hire didn't work out. All the young guys, up and coming guys, he has knocked it out of the freaking park. And that's probably why, they're so good at recruiting, getting in there. The evaluation blows me away still.
Oh, 100%. And the thing with Santucci is like he's really tailored for Tech from the standpoint of being at Wake and really placing an importance on like the classroom. You don't necessarily see that a lot of academics. Like all of that's important to him. And I'm just, man, I can't even talk about this defense. I can't even talk about it.
So proud of those guys, dude. The freaking turnarounds is crazy, and I'm so stoked, man.
Well, let me.
You want to talk about Georgia State?
Oh yeah, so we do that first.
Someone called this rivalry the Marta Bowl.
The Marta Bowl. But you ride the Marta bus.
Guys, I don't know if y'all have seen my video about how freaking important this Georgia State game is. It's probably our most important game this year to win. I really can't stress enough how bad it would be if we lost to a freaking Group of 5 team in the city of Atlanta. It's just not a good look. I mean, I'd rather lose to any other Group of 5 team.
Well, you know who's going to be watching this game more than anybody? It's Florida State fans. For sure.
Right.
Yeah, and look, we talked about this leading up, but it would be the most Georgia Tech thing in the world. We step one complete beat Florida State and then crap the bed at Georgia State. You can't do that. And not only can you not, I mean, obviously find a way to win the game, first and foremost. You can recover from a win. That's fine. But you need to look good coming out here. This line, I think, is 27.5. Let me go look at the line real quick. Massive line. We talked to Joe Gilbert about being massive favorites. And then as the game is tight moving on, it's just mentally hard to shake that. Like, oh my God, is this really going to happen? Am I really going to get embarrassed here? So for anyone that thinks that Georgia Tech is a team that can overlook anybody, slap yourself in the face and just look at the reality of where you've been, the Louisville game. The things that CDOGG was trying to tell me 2 minutes before that game ended is what we need to look at now. I'm not a good example.
Now that we've calmed down. This team last year absolutely would lose to Georgia State. This is just a total trap. It's a total
hangover game.
Yes, I mean, you're coming back from Ireland. You're freaking hot, riding high, feeling good from FSU. Please, God, please. I would hope that by now, right, we would know that you just have. I mean, we're traumatized last year, surely, right? I can't be the only one that's traumatized. I hope those freaking guys, it's all they can think about is the freaking Bowling Green game right now last year, and how we cannot let that happen again. You cannot freaking let your, like you said, rest on your laurels and just and lay an egg here. It would be humiliating. If we lose this game, I'm going to kill myself. I'm like, it's going to be over for CDOGG.
Yeah, well, I can't handle another Bowling Green type loss, especially after last week. So the spread's plus 21.5 for Georgia State. So you are 3 touchdown favorites. The money line is plus 980 for the Panthers. Now this is from FanDuel, and the over under is 56.5. So you're massive favorites here. So I'd almost like to see us open the ball up in the air some, get some confidence throwing against an opponent you should be able to handle. I want to see dominance on defense. Now, this is a night game, so it's going to be exciting. The Dodd should be electrifying this Saturday night at 8 p.m.
We always say that, man, and it never seems to happen. Now, we had some great freaking okay. Since Key took over, we've had some really great nights at Bobby Dodd. There's also been a lot of disappointing. The Bowling Green game last year was super disappointing. Like, there was almost no one there.
Hold on, timeout. There will never be code wreck at FanDuel. Let me just state it again how much I despise gambling, and I mean this. And hold me, I don't care if they offered me a $50,000 sponsorship. I'm dead serious about that. I would not take it. Go ahead.
Just in the past, like, remember last year we freaking beat undefeated Wake Forest on the road. Come back home the next week. Everybody's saying pack it up, and it's freaking empty. So I don't know. I really hope it is. I got to be honest. Like, I don't think I'm gonna go.
Well,
I don't think I can. I can't do it again.
No, I'll be there. So, you know, if something goes wrong,
it's loud for the both of us. I mean, I feel like a hypocrite telling people to go and saying that it's not going to be full, but like, it's really bad for me when, you know, it's just a bad situation to have CDOGG at that game if anything goes wrong.
Well, I mean, at least you didn't get into a massive fight with your ex-wife leaving that game. It's not only getting beat by Boston College, going at it with your ex-wife. It's like, hey, wrong time, lady. Call back later. This isn't the time. But yeah, no, this game does scare me. I mean, it just does. Now, what I do like is that you've gone through the growing pains of embarrassments of Louisville and Bowling Green in the past. When Key came off the field, he said like two things. Then he's like, we got a game to play next week after the win. Yeah, so the mentality of the coaching staff and the team is not going to be, oh, yeah, this is going to be fine. Let's make sure Pyron gets in and then Philo and Knowles. You know, how do you know your backups are going to get to play? That shouldn't even be in your mind. You need to come and dominate and have a good showing in this game. Everything else is secondary, shouldn't even be in your mind.
Exactly. We need to lock in. It should be the freaking only thing on their mind. Like, I think you had a caller saying it last night. Like, they were, before last year, they were playing clips of the Miami game or whatever in the locker room, and Coach Key came in and said, "Turn that shit off." So stuff like that.
And they were gonna go do some activity, and he was like, "Guys, we'll do that next time." Like they're ever going to be in Ireland again. Like, we're not doing that. We got a game to play.
I mean, it's the season, and I just hope that they learn their lesson. I'm begging because, like, I just won't be able to take it if we lose. I just won't. I won't survive.
I won't either. And as being a creator, I'm ready to get more into the season. It is hard to do a preview video. Look, when you don't have anything to go on, because Georgia State hadn't played, new coach, entirely new staff, ton of transfers. So I don't know what Georgia State has. What I do know, and I wouldn't never say this is their Super Bowl, but this means everything to them.
It does.
If Georgia Tech comes out here and wins 42-17, no one's going to think anything about that as far as Georgia Tech's concerned.
I'll think the world of it. I'll be over that. This is my Super Bowl. I don't care. This is absolutely the most important game on our schedule to win. I am dead serious. Like, this is a must-win game, number one.
And it's a good barometer. Okay, can Georgia Tech come out and prove they can go get a big win and then handle business against what is considered to be a lesser opponent in the, college football perspective?
It'll definitely,
Everyone wants to know about Moon Jelly.
It'll tell us a lot. It'll tell us a lot about our season. Everybody wants to know what Moon Jelly is. It's the company I work for.
They make
for all your freaking CNC fabrication needs.
Tell the truth, dude. What Moon Jelly is? That's your
drugs.
No, that's your sex lubricant new line that you're about to release.
Yeah, Mid Jelly.
It'll take you to the moon.
So yeah, it's here, I'll show you the back of the shirt.
Yeah, dude. Show us the glutes.
Can you see it?
Yeah, dude. Just stay like that for a little bit. That's a dude.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it, dude. It's
It's the helmet. The helmet's iconic.
Can you show them one more time?
One more time?
Yeah, just show them one more time. I didn't see it, honestly. There you go.
Get my squats in tonight.
Yeah, dude. Getting a leg workout. Slim Shady just typed, Jesus Christ.
I'm just showing you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to plug my company, man. If we freaking
Can they sponsor us? Would they be willing to?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do freaking CNC parts, and we freaking don't want to do scenery, but we will do it if we got to. Freaking hit us up for all your film needs. I work in the movie business, and we do. It's like a film adjacent company. We do a lot of work for films and stuff. So.
Matt, I just typed, I had to make my girlfriend leave the room. Yeah, that's a good. I should have gave y'all a warning. Hey, if there's any females that you fancy, make sure they ain't watching this.
I thought a Georgia Tech YouTuber stream of Georgia Tech football, there would be no chance that any women would be anywhere near this thing. But
well, that or in a classroom at Georgia Tech, I can attest to that.
Hey, you guys asked.
See, hey, we delivered. All right, let's move the hell on from that and let's look at the schedule. God, I hate the way ads are on Google. Like I'll click an X and then it'll be like, why'd you click the X? Because it's an ad. I don't care what they're advertising. So I get the schedule up on screen. Obviously, big win in Dublin. Georgia State. I'm just going to be honest with you. I do think there's some things that go wrong for us in the game, and there's some moments we struggle. I do trust that we've learned our lesson, though, and even though there's probably some moments in this game we don't like, that we get a pretty big win here. What do you think, CDOGG?
Yeah, I agree. I God, I hope so for my mental health and physical health.
All right. So I mean, look, if we can't win this game, that's a wrap. So
I will say, Zach Gibson at quarterback, we clearly know what he's all about. If we have any type of pass rush, we'll eat him alive.
Have they given a depth chart? Did he win the position?
I don't know. I'm just assuming he'll start. I don't know.
They also have Watson, don't they?
Who?
They have two of our players. They have Kenyatta Watson.
Oh, they do, don't they? Okay. I don't
yeah.
know. But we just need to take care of business and treat this as if it's any other game, or honestly it's very important, and I hope that everybody knows that as much as me, or everybody thinks that as much as me. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, then we go on the road at Syracuse. Now, again, if you don't know, that's a game I'm pretty sure I'll be at. Someone will be there representing the channel. I'm not sure yet. But another team I just don't know much about, another team with a first-year head coach from Georgia. They kill it in the portal. I think this is another dangerous game for us, man.
Dude, it's not like if we can beat these teams. It's like, are we capable of doing that and beating them in a row? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
it's
going
not
on the
even
road.
like, of course we can beat Syracuse. Of course we should beat Syracuse. They're going to be their second game under their new head coach. And similar to Florida State, they're put together through the transfer portal. That usually has varied results. I mean, it's just like, is our team mentally able to win the games that we should? Because look at all these games that coming up. We should be, honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-0.
Well, here's what I can say for sure. 1, 2, 3. We should rattle off 4 wins. You should win through VMI.
Yes, at least. and then you get to Louisville. Go ahead with whatever you wanted to say about Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean, Slim's right. They do bring in a lot of transfers. It just is a tough turnaround with a first-year head coach and a lot of new players. I mean, just look at the Florida State Georgia Tech game. Man, continuity matters in college football.
Yeah.
Knowing a system matters in college football. Playing as a team as opposed to individuals matters. And if our defense continues out like this, like you got to be able to beat Syracuse, Georgia State, and VMI, especially with how your schedule stacks up in the second half of the season. Now, at Louisville is an interesting game. And it's just tough when I haven't seen these teams play, but tell me what you think about Louisville.
Louisville is like Florida State, but less so. They weren't as good as Florida State last year. We about had them in the bag, and they're probably going to take a step back this year too. The only thing is being on the road, but does that scare you? It doesn't freaking scare me. We play great on the road.
We do tend to. I mean, if we can go to Ireland and beat, obviously Florida State's probably overranked at 10, but if you can go get a big statement win in Ireland, going to Louisville, Kentucky doesn't
We
scare
go to
me.
Chapel Hill, get a win. We go to freaking wherever in the ACC and handle business. We play really well on the road. Miami, we played, and like it just, I don't know, we play great, and so it doesn't even faze me that game is on the road. It's just, can we do it? I don't know. If we're theoretically 4-0 at this point,
Yeah, could you
we're
get
probably
5-0?
due to lay an egg.
You probably are due, but could you get 5-0 into your first bye week? I mean, that'd be huge.
Of course, this team's capable. Of course, we're capable of it. It's just, can they do it every week and put forth their best effort every week? And
yeah, well, let's give the best case scenario first. So I think best case scenario is you're 5-0 going into your bye week. Then you get Duke at home. Duke lost everything. We've got their DC. They lost their best quarterback. Their whole staff's pretty much been wiped out. They do have Manny Diaz, which I don't know what Slim thinks. I think it's a pretty good hire for them.
I thought so too.
But they're going to take a huge step back this year. I'm more confident we'll beat Duke than I am Syracuse, to be honest.
Not to mention, we get a bye week and we get them at home. Is that homecoming? Which one's homecoming?
I don't know if it says on here. Let me see.
It's either got to be that or
it says we're actually having homecoming at Sanford Stadium this year. We're actually that confident in that game. No. I don't know when our homecoming game is. It's usually in October, though. So, well, this is the first week of October.
Yeah, it's the first week of October. If not, we don't have another home game or Bobby Dodd game until freaking November 9th. So I would think it would be, right? That would be a good game to do homecoming on.
It would be. So I think we win that game. Miami's homecoming.
Miami is? Wow.
Then you know who we got. And I ain't worried. And this ain't just because I've just completely crapped on Collins for, well over a year now. I'm not scared of North Carolina one bit up to this point.
I'm not. The only thing that worries me is like, us crapping the bed, and like that North Carolina, they freaking, my mind went blank. That I actually want to beat them this year, so I'm worried that we won't. I'm so like Trump. I'm so jaded, dude. I'm so jaded. Talk for a second. I'm getting a call. Hang on.
All right. Yeah. I mean, look, obviously I haven't seen any of these teams play this up to this point. I have listened to almost every Jeff Collins presser, though, and he hadn't changed a bit. Look, that North Carolina blocks out their own spring game because they're afraid that Minnesota is going to get the jump on them, which I see why they're afraid of Minnesota. They're a 2.5-point favorite. They have to go from Chapel Hill and play at Minnesota. Their spring game was an absolute disaster. Which usually doesn't mean anything, but it's just how weird it was and what I know about Collins. So, I mean, your best case scenario, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, if you went 7-0, that would spring you for a really tough second half of the season. Now,
yeah,
if you go to the Benz and play Notre Dame, now I hate this. I'm not going to harp on it. playing home games that aren't at Bobby Dodd. I don't really know much about Notre Dame. I mean, the guy that took him over seemed to do a good job last year, but the other thing they do a good job at is screwing up really good ACC quarterbacks. So I just don't know what Riley Leonard, is he going to fall into that?
So before we get on Notre Dame, I think this might be bad. I think in all likelihood we're not going to go 7-0.
I agree.
I think we probably catch a loss to probably Louisville or God, I hate to say it, but North Carolina I feel like is the next likely, or maybe for some reason Syracuse.
Yeah, you stumble.
That's a total freaking stumble moment. Like, okay, handle business this week, and then we go for Syracuse. I think we catch a loss somewhere. I just hope it's not North Carolina or Georgia State. I want to beat them, really, really bad. They were my top 3 up there with Georgia. But that being said, yeah, Notre Dame, I don't think we'll beat them. We never freaking beat them, dude.
Yeah, I would never count that in the win column for us.
We just never do, dude.
I'd say that's most likely an L, and just the Benz is, in my opinion, is weird for us. Now we go on the road and play at Blacksburg. Everyone's high on Virginia Tech. Everyone is picking Virginia Tech to be a dark horse for the ACC. And I'm not as high on them. I know you're not either.
Yeah, I've been freaking yelling this from the rooftops all off season. Okay, the darlings of the off season, right? Guess who just came in and stole the spotlight week 0? You think Virginia Tech could have beat Florida State? I'm not so sure about that. What have they done that we haven't? Okay, and in fact, we've come out here in week 0 and actually proved that we should have garnered some freaking hype that they got all off season. Everybody's been gargling their balls, dude. I don't get it. I don't get it. We were almost identical teams last year to Virginia Tech. And for some reason they get all the love. Well, we've come out and proved it. I'm yet to see it from Virginia Tech. It actually makes me mad. I'm not scared at all of Lane Stadium. Like I said, we play great on the road, and who knows if they're actually going to be that good. So,
in fact, let me pull up Winsipedia, because unless you're like a Tech fan, like you're not going to know this.
I think we narrowly own the. Or it's like very close. It's like one game or something.
Well, what I'm saying is we play well in Blacksburg for whatever reason.
Yeah. Oh, in Blacksburg, yeah.
Let's see the last time that
we beat them last time. It was the Pyron game where Charlie Thomas got the. It was either Charlie Thomas or CPL got the freaking fumble, and then Pyron started. It was the only game he started all the way through. And we won. It was amazing.
Yeah, so they have the series 11-8.
That is not as long of a series as I thought.
Well, they were in the Big East forever. So
yeah, I just could have sworn that. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
We played them 2 times in a row in Atlanta.
Well, yeah, it must have been COVID, probably, right?
Yeah.
And I remember Jeff Collins. They beat them 59-0. They beat us 50 or 45-0 is what it was. First time we had ever been shut out at home. Jeff Collins just sets historical records for historical losses.
So the last time Virginia Tech beat Georgia Tech in Blacksburg was 2012.
Wow.
It was when Frank Beamer was their coach. I mean, so look, does that mean Tech wins just because of that? Well, no, but all I'm saying is that for whatever reason we play well in Blacksburg, and I'm not near as afraid of this team as the rest of the country seems to think I should be.
Me neither. I'll be keeping a close eye on them, but I'm just not convinced.
No. Then we get a bye. We get a string of byes. We get a bye and then Miami. Now, I got to see Miami play. Miami does look like they're going to be a good team. They get trolled for, the we're back thing every year, but this year does seem to shape up well for them. I mean, they do probably get the best quarterback in the portal. We'll see how he plays. I just don't think Tech wins this game at home. I think they're probably going to be nursing some injuries. We haven't really talked about that, even though I do have a bye the week before. I would not count this as a win for Tech. What do you think?
I picked us to lose to him. Makes me sick. But I mean, hey man, we get cranked up on freaking homecoming.
We do.
Like we really do.
And this could be a night game too. That wouldn't surprise me, especially if Tech plays as well as we think they can. This probably will be an 8 p.m. game in Atlanta.
Yeah, so I all the chips are in our favor. I mean, usually it's funny because usually we lose at home to them and then go beat them in their stadium whenever we play them. Whoever's at home has like a home disadvantage.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it is weird with them, but yeah. I mean, I guess at this point I'd say so, but dude, I'm like looking at this games. We have a chance to freaking win them all. I mean,
we do, and
I'm thinking 9-0 at this point. I don't really see any of them beating us.
So the weird thing is we get a bye, and then we get NC State. So let me look at NC State and see who they have the week before. They're also on a bye, though.
Okay.
That kind of changes how I look at this game. They're on the road at Tech, and then they're on the road North Carolina, who they, are sworn to hate. Look, I don't know much about NC State. It's a winnable game for us. It's a tough. When was the last time we won a Thursday night game? That's probably some good trivia.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while.
Last Thursday night game we played was that god-awful Zach Gibson, Virginia game. I was there.
Yeah,
it was the night before my birthday.
That was before we even knew each other. I remember recording a video. I had just started the channel.
Yeah.
And I was so hyped. And I've never been, I have been as deflated because I've rooted for the
always
Super Bowl.
freaking lose on my birthday. Luckily, we don't play on my birthday this year, so that's good.
Okay.
It looks like my birthday is going to be on a Monday, so yippee, after the Notre Dame game. But whatever.
Yeah.
NC State, here's my opinion on them. I've said this. Dave Dorn, you just look at the freaking trends. It's clear as day. They had a good year last year. They always follow up a good year with either bad or mediocre year. So I'll believe it when I see it to think that they're going to be some kind of good team, but it's just history,
Yeah, it would be. I don't like this game for Tech. I'm not confident in that. You do have Georgia in Athens, which is for whatever reason the place we tend to beat them. Now, look, picked them, or Macho Wreck picked them, picked Tech to beat them here. And look, I do feel good about us playing Georgia this year. I do. I mean, Key would never admit it, but if he was going to win one game on the schedule, he'd want it to beat Georgia. He would want it to beat Georgia. And, I wouldn't pick him here. But let me just look back through here. So let's just say,
I'm not freaking scared of Georgia. We marched up in there in the Sanford Stadium overrated freaking home field advantage 2 years ago with the backup skeleton crew, and with Zach Gibson, Tyson Pumachan, and we ran down the score. They hadn't been scored on the first drive all year. Ran down and did it like nobody's business. So I'm not freaking scared of them. We have an actually formidable team this year, and we're gonna give them whatever, we gave them all they wanted last year. So no, I'm not freaking. Would I rather win Georgia or Georgia State?
Georgia, 100%.
Hey, don't freaking ask me that question. I put out a video called "Teams I Want to Beat the Most Ranked." Go watch that.
I'll say this: you're not going to sneak up on Georgia this year, though. Like, I do think
no.
Brent Key has the respect of Kirby Smart. Like
Kirby Smart, maybe the players. I'm not sure. I don't know. Because I'm not sure. But even so, we save shit for that game, and we we pull out all the stops on that game. And our guys are cranked up, and we freaking Dude, we pushed them around on the lines of scrimmage last year, or at least on the offensive line.
We did.
So
We're going to be able to score points on Georgia. Look, I know Georgia has a very good defense. I know the talent they have on defense. But I also know the talent that Georgia Tech has on offense. And
we'll run on them. I swear we will.
William Beadle says, I hope it's a blackout. Yeah, if Georgia blacks out that game, it's over. I don't think they've blacked out in a while, but I don't think they've won a game they blacked out.
Oh, yeah, it is on Black Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, this is also
a
Friday game.
A night game, Friday night game. That's kind of cool. I like a night game.
Yeah, I might do that, Triple G there. I can't do it on the fly, though. So let's pick our losses here. Let's say we stumble against Louisville, Notre Dame, Miami, and Georgia. That's 4. That's 8.
8-4. I'd be happy with that.
I do think best case scenario, you could steal one of those other games. 9-3 would be the absolute best case, and that's everything going in your favor. You're not getting any injuries. You're making some insane plays to steal some wins. Worst
and take
case,
care of business when you need to.
Yes,
which is the least confident thing I have. You know.
Yeah, that's literally playing probably perfectly.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I mean, look, you could stumble against Syracuse and then drop Louisville. You could drop North Carolina, Notre Dame. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You could get beaten Blacksburg. There's 5. Miami 6. Yeah, I mean, the wheels could come off. I mean,
honestly, I don't think so. I mean, they could, I guess, but what I think is going to happen, I don't think that's going to happen. I changed my my range. So I had us at 5-win floor in the offseason and 8-win ceiling. I'm changing that. I think we win a minimum of 7 games to a maximum of 9.
Yeah, I would probably stick with my original prediction at the moment until I see the consistency throughout 4 or 5 games.
That's true.
But yeah, the ceiling does probably bump to 8, possibly 9.
Yeah, that's just what I think is going to happen. Now, what could happen? Yeah, it could fall off. We lose 6 games, but I think we definitely at least get bowl eligible.
I will say, being realistic, I do think you drop a game you shouldn't in here. Maybe Louisville, something weird happens, or Syracuse. But I also think you win a game no one thinks you do, like a Georgia or a Notre Dame or a Miami. We're Notre Dame, Miami, Georgia. Do you think we win one of those games?
Well, it's funny because in the preseason I said Florida State, Notre Dame, Georgia. I think we win one of those games, and we have. So,
but
it is a long season. Of course, I'm a genius. I said that, but then I picked us to lose all of them. So I don't know. But I did say it. I was like, I probably should have picked us to win one of those, but it is what it is. I did say Florida State was the most likely of those 3. So I am a genius.
We both did. Yeah, and because we looked at things that they wouldn't. I mean, look, I just knew they were losing a ton of production. They were bringing in DJU. None of the other teams have that issue. Like, Riley Leonard's a better quarterback than DJU. Full stop.
Yeah.
You know, Carson Beck, as much as it pains to say, I mean, it's not a high bar, but he's better than DJU.
Mm-hmm. I would say we probably have a good chance of winning one of those 3. If I had to bet, I'd probably bet yeah.
All right. Well, what time we got here? We're rolling. We're about 20 minutes till 10.
How you feeling? Getting tired?
Getting tired. Yeah, I thought we can go on for a little while longer.
So I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to kind of look at the other games this weekend because I haven't looked at them at all.
Oh yeah. Let's pull those up. Let me go to ESPN. Now I will say this.
Thursday night we got games, dude. Let's go. That makes me happy. Thursday night we got games.
Heck yeah, dude. First, let's talk about Georgia Clemson. This is a neutral site game in the Benz, which is It's not really a home game for either team because neither team is very far from Atlanta. I mean, Clemson's not that far into South Carolina. Here's, me, Papa Rec, and I were talking about Georgia Clemson. And this really is like an interesting game from the program's perspective. The last time they played, when was the last time they played? Like 4 years ago when Georgia had JT Daniels and the game was like 9-6 or something like that. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it was DJ Uyongale's first game as a starter.
That's right. So, but you could say that the programs were pretty much dead even, talent-wise, like the program health-wise. If Clemson gets beat by 28 points or something by Georgia, that's going to be a clear indicator that what Dabo is doing with like the portal and the things that no one really understands that he does with his programs flat out isn't working. You can just look at these two games span 3 or 4 years apart.
Well, it's funny because people were saying it was Dabo versus Norvell, and they were saying Dabo lost that last year, but now Norvell is like, now it's kind of biting him, putting his team together that way. So who knows? Maybe they're both wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a noon kick too. Georgia's a 13.5 point favorite. They don't see a lot of scoring going on. Over under is 48.5.
I don't know, man. Clemson kind of sucks.
I would love for Clemson to win just because, we're sworn to hate Georgia, obviously.
Obviously, I'll be pulling for them, but they just suck like lately. They're not as good as they used to be, clearly. Klubnik, are you kidding me?
I hate to say this. I mean, I think Georgia covers in that game.
I don't know about covers. I think Georgia sucks too.
Okay.
I think Georgia sucks too.
What are some other interesting games? I got them on the screen.
You skipped over the Thursday games and stuff. We have some good stuff there. That's
Western Carolina, NC State. That's Collins' alma mater at Western Carolina. I'll be
there's also North Carolina, Minnesota that night.
Is that a Thursday night game?
Yeah, Thursday at 8.
Oh, it's
same
not
time as
it's not a top 25 matchup. So hold on. Like I'm not even trying to troll them.
That's filtered.
You have to refilter. I like Minnesota in this game, man. Like people that aren't Tech fans aren't going to appreciate this. Jeff Collins is that awful. And that it's not just because I have a personal vendetta against the guy. I can set that aside and say what he's doing will not work.
Ooh, look at North Dakota State and Colorado. That'll be interesting because North Dakota State's the one that they win the freaking Natty every year.
Look at the line on that game. Colorado is playing. They're an FCS school, right? And they're a 10-point favorite.
They're like the Alabama of FCS schools, though.
Don't you think it's hilarious that the two programs that have the biggest issues like outside their program right now are Florida State and Colorado, and they have one thing in common: Florida State nonsense. Deion Sanders, he's not taking questions from reporters. Obviously, he favors his son. You brought it up. He fires a great OC because he didn't like the way he was coaching his son. I don't know about you. It would not surprise me at all. And Florida State would love this because it would take the heat off of them. If North Dakota State shocks the world and beats Colorado, I would laugh my freaking ass off.
Florida State is hoping for anything at this point. They're desperate for something. They can't wait till Thursday.
I know it, man. Please let someone get upset bad.
Yeah. They definitely want some heat taken off. But yeah, no, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Colorado sucks. They're going to suck again. They might lose this game. They're probably going to win another 4 games. I think we went through their schedule at some point this offseason, and dude, they're totally going to win like 4 games.
Yeah, I mean it's not an easy schedule.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any other. I don't want to talk about Bowling Green.
Just a bunch of Power 5 teams playing freaking Group of 5 or FCS teams. It looks like.
Okay, so the only 2 games worth watching really are North Carolina, Minnesota, Thursday at 8, and Colorado, North Dakota State, just for laughs.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll scroll down here. Duke and Elon will just be interesting to see.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I'm interested to see any team we play. I'm interested to see Duke. I'm interested to see Daggum NC State.
yeah, they got who do they play?
Is this
Western
Friday?
Carolina.
So is this Friday? TCU and Stanford's a little bit interesting.
So there's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I think Sunday games, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go through them.
And then it's freaking Labor Day on Monday, so we'll be able to sit at home and talk about the weekend all day.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
All right, we talked about Georgia Clemson, Penn State, West Virginia.
Ooh, backyard brawl.
Penn State's 8.5-point favorite.
Dude.
Penn State loses their DC, obviously. So who did Penn State hire as their DC?
I need another set of eyes to watch all these games. That's exciting. Virginia Tech and Vandy. I'll be tuning into that.
Oh yeah, Vanderbilt a 13-point dog. It'll be interesting to see. I think Virginia Tech might struggle in that game. I think
and it's at Vandy. So
well, I just think
freaking...
they're the darlings of college football. Everyone's expecting. Everyone's kind of be watching, expecting something from them, and it's a week one
so
game.
hard, dude. If they freaking lost,
no,
to Vanderbilt of all people, I don't think they lose to Vanderbilt. I mean, they're not that bad.
No,
they might not be like amazing, but they're.
I think they might struggle, is what I'm saying. Louisville, Austin P.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Chattanooga. Well, here we go. Slim, I don't think it's still in here. Miami at Florida, right? Isn't it at Florida? Isn't the home game?
There we go.
The home team's on bottom, right? On ESPN.
Well, it says it's in Gainesville there to the right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
To the right a little bit, Ben Hill, Griffin City. Yeah.
Joel with the $5 super chat says, laughing my ass off. FSU plays BC on Labor Day by itself. Imagine if they embarrass themselves twice in a row on prime games in one season.
As funny as that would be, I actually hope that Florida State's good and we just beat a good team. But that is funny.
Oh my God, dude. They would
That's hilarious.
They would implode. They're like, God, we gotta play with some more
Shut
teams.
down the program. And Boston College is no pushover, dude. Castellanos, they better freaking buckle up.
Well, they about beat them last year, dude.
Yeah.
And I said this in another room, like, look, Castellanos is more athletic than Haynes King.
I'm just laughing so hard at the despair. The despair these people go through.
Oh, dude.
That's definitely the funniest outcome.
Oh my God, dude. There's already people in their message board saying they need to fire Norvell, dude. It's something else.
These people don't know what suffering is like.
They don't
know.
Now, Miami, this is surprising to me. I know it's a rivalry game, but they're a 2.5-point favorite. Just a 2.5-point favorite.
Well, it's at the Swamp.
Yeah, but has anyone been scared about going to the Swamp in some time other than Tennessee?
It's a pretty freaking formidable home field advantage, but
I guess,
and it's Miami. Like in general, unless it pertains to the Yellow Jackets, Vegas knows what they're talking about. I don't know. I wouldn't be so quick to question this here.
Unless it's the Jackets.
Would it surprise you at all if Miami loses?
It'd be funny.
It'd be hilarious, but it would be par for the course, you know?
Oh, what if Florida State lost and Miami lost?
It'd be a dream come true. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. We freaking run the state of Florida, dude.
Yeah,
Last 3 meetings, we beat Florida State, UCF, and Miami.
Damn, dude.
We run that state, dude.
That's sad.
We freaking own them.
BB, what do you want an apology for?
When's the last time we've ever been able to say stuff like that, dude?
It's been a while.
Dude.
Well, what I thought was hilarious is them arguing amongst each other during our stream. No, you at least you need to take a knee.
Yeah, you need to take a knee. That's so funny.
Yeah, well, Florida State was never in threat of messing that up.
line us up against Florida. We'll take them down. I swear.
We want Florida.
We want Florida, bro. I want to freaking run the. I want to run the freaking table on their state. We would beat them too. I swear we'd beat Florida.
Well, Key's going to Florida. Florida is a worse program. I mean, why would he go there?
He's not going to. Yeah, no.
All right.
That'll be an incredible game. I'm tuning into that for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a 3:30 kick. They couldn't get an 8 p.m. time slot for that. Wow.
Well, it looks like there's nothing else here at this 3:30 time slot. Is that it? All these other games are doo-doo.
People
But
might
who
watch
else is gonna
Georgia
watch this
Southern just because they all play them in their dynasty. But
like me.
then you got
No, none of these other games are any good.
some 6 p.m. games. 7.
It's all freaking FCS teams.
All right. Well, Notre Dame at Texas A&M will be interesting. You know,
Ooh.
7:30, dude. We'll be watching that game.
Wow. Did they say where game day is going today? I would think it'd be here, right? Or maybe it's Georgia Clemson.
Notre Dame Texas A&M to me is a better game than
Dude,
Georgia Clemson.
This is a stacked week 1, man.
Let's
I'm
see.
stoked.
Game day.
This will be really good.
Yep, this is where game day is. Game day will be in College Station here.
Wow, no kidding.
Notre Dame's a slight favorite here, or not Notre Dame. Texas A&M's a slight favorite, which makes sense. I mean, look,
that's crazy.
College Station's a difficult place to play in.
Yeah.
The 12th man, and then the little military.
Well, -3. That tells you that they're probably it's a pick 'em on an even field, right?
I'll be honest with you. I like A&M in this game.
I mean,
I think that much about Mike Elko.
I hate to do this, but like SEC, and and Notre Dame, like I don't know. I mean, I probably like Texas A&M in this one too.
Yeah, low over under 46.5. So that it looks like they think this is going to be a lower scoring game. But I agree with B Bean. I would love to see Notre Dame get beat by 50 here. Screw Notre Dame.
I hate them.
I did watch Lou's his end of the stream where he's like, they're suing Notre Dame because their mascot's the Irish. The funniest part of that rant was when he's like, they're suing the court. It just said the court.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got here? Obviously, we already talked about Georgia Tech, Georgia State. Who's the prime 8 p.m. game? Guess there isn't one. Guess the 7:30.
Texas A&M and Notre Dame, right?
Yep. All right, then Sunday, an interesting game. 7:30 USC and LSU.
Ooh,
and this is a neutral site game in Las Vegas.
Wow, that'll be awesome.
LSU is a slight 4.5 point favorite, high over under at 64.5. So they're not thinking much of LSU's defense, or they're thinking that much of their offense. I'm not sure.
What a treat on a Sunday. This is cool.
Yeah, USC went and got Lincoln Riley, and it really has not worked out well for them. Or, it's not what they thought it was going to be. I probably like LSU in this game. And I hate to keep picking SEC teams like that.
Yeah, but USC is so, they lose Caleb Williams and their defense.
Yeah, they could care less about playing defense over there.
I'll believe it when I see it about them playing defense.
Yeah, I'd probably take LSU here.
Yeah.
And then the final game, 7:30 Monday on Labor Day. FSU's a 17-point favorite over Boston College. I'm not a betting man. I'm not a betting man, but give me Boston College and 17 points all day and twice on Labor Day.
Wow. This feels like a trap. Like a lot of people are going to take Boston College, and then FSU actually comes out, and that totally feels like a trap.
Well, the worst thing for Boston College in this game was the Georgia Tech upset. I'm sure Boston College would have loved Florida State to beat the fool off of them, out of
in
us.
Tallahassee too.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, man, that Castellanos, I still am traumatized from him. They were doing. Remember the 4th and 1 when we played him, and he ran it for a touchdown, like a 38-yard touchdown on a 4th and 1. Our linebackers are still trying to find him in the backfield, and it's like, no, he already scored, guys. I mean, it was something else.
Oh man, yeah, that was on my birthday last year. That was the chip game. Yeah,
Dude, your birthday, Tech just
fun,
shits on your birthday every year, don't they?
I know, man. It ruins my freaking day every year. All I want is a win on my birthday, but thankfully they don't play on my birthday this year, so maybe I don't have to worry about that.
Oh, me. Well, I did not realize that we looked at that. There's a ton of great games. I'm sure we'll both be streaming these games.
Yep.
You'll be streaming the Georgia Tech game, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get together for Florida State or that Sunday or something. I don't know. We'll probably set something
I'm
up.
excited to watch these games, man. These are some really, really good games.
Yeah.
So
let's see.
I'd be happy to.
Before we get off, what are the best games? And I think Florida State, Boston College is interesting.
Miami, Florida,
Notre Dame, A&M, USC, LSU.
Notre Dame, Texas A&M is going to be good. There's some more that I'm just
Georgia,
interested
Clemson.
in.
I mean, that's an interesting
The backyard
game.
brawl.
Yeah.
The backyard brawl. Minnesota, North Carolina. I'm interested in that. I don't know if that, I mean,
I'll
that's
stream
nowhere
that game.
near.
I'll stream that game.
Yeah, that's nowhere freaking near. One of the better games, but I am interested in that.
Appreciate the $2 super chat. Yeah, man. Joel S with the $2 super chat says BC gonna win and FSU will opt out of the season.
They need to if they go 0-2, dude. I can't imagine.
Dude, can you imagine the hell the internet would
Do you
give
remember
them?
a couple years ago when they started like 0-6 or something? Do you remember that?
Is that the year they went 3-6 or something during COVID?
Yeah, something like
they
that.
want to forget.
I just remember like, oh my god, they keep losing. You know who they beat that year?
Who did they beat?
North Carolina.
It ain't hard to do. If you get them
I remember
because
I bet on North Carolina. And
Boy.
I lost a lot of money. So
well, that's what you get, dude, for betting North Carolina. What the hell were you thinking?
Well, it was back before, our beef with them really started, and I kind of was neutral on them. And
well, Russ picked us to beat Florida State like before the game.
really?
Tar Heel Huddle. He did a whole video. He said Georgia Tech's going to shock the world, and he wasn't the only one. A lot of people thought that, but
I mean, I knew we could. I just didn't know. My hang up was the defense.
yes,
Now my hang up with Georgia State is our mental fortitude. And once I see that, we're going 15-0. You know what I mean?
oh,
We
dude.
take care of business here. We're going 15, 12,
Well,
100-0.
just let us start off 6 or 7-0. And you won't be able to tell me or CDOGG anything. We won't be coming. We're going to be up. We're not coming down for a while.
Last night I went back and I was watching some of my old videos from the 2021 season.
Oh boy.
In particular, the video after we lost to Notre Dame 55-0.
Yeah, that was our 100-0 stretch.
Yeah, I was just so defeated and so upset and just hopeless. And I didn't think it was going to get better anytime soon. But I got to say, like, since then, we've come such a long way. And I watched, like, everything grow, like the Tech fan base on here come through. It was, like, lonely. And just that's why I'm like so passionate. I got pretty stoked earlier when we were talking about what the program's capable of.
Yeah.
And I was saying it back then, and it's coming true. And it's amazing to see. Like I'm like honestly blown away. I thought it would take a lot longer. And
me too. Me too. I if you would have said, "Do we sign a 5-star this decade?" A year or two ago, I would have. I probably said no.
I thought it would take. I thought we'd hire freaking Willie Fritz or something, and
Boy, Tulane fans got mad at us.
And takes 7 years to freaking rebuild him, and he dies right as soon as we make a bowl.
Yeah.
On the 7th year. I thought that's what it was in store for. And to see how far we've come, I love you guys. Like, everybody's here now. So many Tech fans have showed up. The stadiums, like, the games are fun to go to now.
Yeah.
And the Tech community has grown so much, and we're good, and we're having fun. And I just was looking at that night. I was sitting alone in my man cave and despairing, and now we're over here celebrating being the number 10 Florida State. So
hell yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, man. Like, just the whole journey, and the way that we're now perceived nationally too. Like, Tech's getting some respect from like other fan bases and other people, which is just really nice to see. Joel S says, "Hey, shout out to y'all, CDOGG and Wreck. Y'all have been carrying this community and fan base on your backs." That's more of CDOGG. I mean, CDOGG has been doing this obviously a good deal longer than me. He was out here on an island during the Jeff Collins years, man. Like, I don't know if I could have done that.
There was, and Gavin Owen says, "I was with you." I remember y'all that was with me. There's a few of y'all, like Vince and Christopher. But if I start naming everybody, they'll get left out. But I remember y'all that have been around for a while, and it's been freaking rough. And I love everybody new, and it's I mean, it's not just me. Like, yeah, I was here kind of before everybody, but like you, man, you've taken this thing and ran with it, and like really helped blow it up. And you and like Patience, and then Bryce Kuhn, like, it's just something that I got on here, and dude, I came on in 2020 was when I started watching YouTube. And I was like, there's no freaking Georgia Tech YouTuber, so I got to do it. And just to see it grow into what it is now there's like freaking like 4 of us plus, a bunch of other like up and comer. There's like me, you, Bryce, and Tantor. And then, there's other guys that are starting up their channels, like Jujician, Zach, and Mindfish, and okay, I'm not gonna start naming off names again. BC, Georgia Tech Jackets, that's a cool kid. And like, just to see that coming from, I was so freaking sad. I'm gonna have to pull it up. I'll probably do a stream one of these days and pull up that video. It was so pathetic and sad.
After Notre Dame?
Yeah. It was so sad.
Well, that's the lowest point I've ever felt as a fan.
It's literally called Georgia Tech hits rock bottom. 55-0 Notre Dame.
And what did our coach tell us after we got beat 45-0?
If you don't see the improvement, you're not looking for it.
You don't want to see it.
Yeah.
So that's what you got, North Carolina. Get ready for you to give up 450 yards of offense a game, and him getting his feelings about what fans say about that.
Yeah, and whenever he gets fired, he's going to hate you.
Yeah, he is. He's going to start. I guess he'll start like, this is what would happen, dude. If he gets fired from North Carolina, that little South Carolina palmetto tree thing, he'll immediately put one of those on his car. On its way out. Going to South Carolina, baby. Well, man, I think that was a good stream. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate everyone for coming out. I mean, a lot of people came in tonight. I want to say we probably had like 116 in here at one point. Appreciate all the super chats.
Out, dude. I freaking rocks. I'm sorry I missed the off season. Like,
no, dude.
I'm trying to get in my house, so I appreciate you carrying the torch. Now I don't have to do it by myself, so I can count on you guys to keep the hype train going and keep it going while I'm freaking trying to get my life together.
So before we get off, I just want you to answer one question Stan Garner has, and I think we've talked about this a little bit. Y'all think Goof was watching? So he's talking about, do we think Jeff Collins was watching Brent dominate FSU? Yes.
Oh, dude.
He's so pissed. He's so pissed right now.
Yes.
I guarantee you he has a therapist, and all he talks about is like, all right, you know what we're going to talk about? Brent Key. He's such a God. I hate him so much. I wish I could be like him. Appreciate the $2, Caleb. Goats. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, he was watching. He hates him. He freaking hates him.
Josh Pate has even kind of come out, but he won't give Key his full due still, which is bizarre. I don't know if you've listened to what he said about that.
Yeah, I did. What was it? I don't know, but it kind of pisses me off.
He was like, I thought it would be Jeff Collins. You don't ever need to mention him again, dude. Just say that Key's doing something great in Atlanta.
Yeah, and of course he had to mention like, well, things didn't go, unexpected things happen. Yeah, he unexpectedly was the worst coach ever. By his own fault and no one else's.
Well, unexpected things happen for every coach. Do you think any coach ever in the history of college football takes over a program and it goes exactly as expected?
It's just so many excuses. Like I don't understand how you can, with a straight face, defend Jeff Collins. Literally, Coach Key took over that same week we turned the team around. You can't tell me Jeff Collins would have done the same thing from there on out. He turned around with the same players.
Yeah, same players, same staff. Then goes to a bowl, wins it the next year, signs the first 5-star, upsets Florida State. Like
5-0 versus ranked ACC teams.
What does this guy have to do? And those other guys that I reacted to have now been forced to extend Key the respect. I don't know if you remember, I reacted to a video where this guy was like, and he looks 12 years old. Like his name's like Joe Deloney or something. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I just think Brent Key's a lazy hire. And he kept on that.
Yeah.
Until
he
just
doubles
recently.
Down. Yeah. Oh, he didn't double down. He freaking rescinded it.
Well, now that the whole world is praising Brent Key, he's like, let me get under them nuts too.
So, and it's like, we're not just saying that because we just hired him and wanted, that. He literally did the best job he could have done as an interim. He could not have done any better with the cards he was dealt.
No.
So
it's looking up for Tech. Again, guys, appreciate y'all stopping in. Appreciate all the super chats, and appreciate you, CDOGG. We got to do this more often.
Yeah, man. I'm back. I'm back, dude.
CDOGG's back.
I'm freaking back, and I'm gonna get going again. And I had a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
So we got to do it for sure.
All right. You guys have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.